Hey everybody, I'm Britt Savage for WooFDriver News, coming to you live for wherever you are from my little house here. I hope you're having a great day. We're going to have a really fun show today. I've got a lot of cool news stories. What I do, if this is your first time watching, is I collect all the fun news stories that have anything to do with dogs, and I bring them to you every Wednesday and every Saturday. So we have a lot of fun, and I love it when you communicate. So if you're on board, say hello, tell me where you're from, tell me about your dogs, tell me what's going on in your life, and I will get back to you because I just love hearing what you're doing, and I just love sharing our little dog stories here with the whole, Woof gang over here. But I have a lot of fun stuff to get to, and I just want to get to the first story now. So here we go. I have to ask you a question to start this out. Have you ever thought that your dog might be possessed? Have you thought that? Maybe some wacky jumping around stuff, maybe a strange look in his eye. Well, I've got just the solutions. A dog spa in Japan called D and Kirishima's offers pet pampering plus a service to drive out evil spirits in your dog. The pet exorcism plan includes a room for 2 humans and their dog, breakfast, dinner, and of course the removal of evil spirits. All for $430. It's a bargain, really, I guess. According to the website, dogs in what they call unlucky health years. I wonder what the unlucky human health years are. But that would mean older dogs in odd number ages are more prone to being possessed. 7-year-old, 10-year-old, and 13-year-old dogs need to be careful of their health. Well, 10 isn't an odd number, is it? I'm confused. No. Well, whatever. It's easier for those dogs to get diseases of aging, the spa says. Well, what do you think? Would you bring your dog to a dog spa to hopefully have an exorcism? They said they do it out by a shrine, and I have a picture. It's not just exorcisms. They take them swimming. Here's a little swimming dog, relaxing. Do you think that dog looks possessed? Looks like it's saying, "Get me the heck out of here. Get me out of here." But I don't know, pretty crazy. Now we have a sort of a sad news story for people who love country music. If you've heard of Dierks Bentley, he's been nominated for countless awards, won a lot of awards. He's a big country music star, and I think almost as important as Dierks Bentley, or as popular, is his dog named Jake. Well, he's had Jake for 15 years, and he just announced that Jake did pass away, but Jake's been such a big part of his life, I wanted to at least announce it. He posted this photo of Jake hanging out, and if you like music, you may have noticed Jake's been in so many videos. He's been on the red carpet, he's been on TV shows, he's been on the front cover of Dierks Bentley's award-winning record. So he's been a huge part of Dierks' career, and I wanted to read a little bit about what he said. He said, "Rest in peace, pal," and he posted that black and white image. And then he's quoted as saying, "This was because the dog actually made an appearance in June when Dierks had a big exhibit at the Country Music Hall of Fame." So the dog Jake has been suffering with cancer, so they did chemo and all that stuff, but it didn't really work. But the dog's been just a huge, wonderful part of so many people's lives who are fans of country music that I just wanted to tell you what Dierks said about his sweet dog. He said, "Jake's been with me through every phase of my career, since before I even had a publishing deal, before I even had a gig. When I first got my gigs downtown, he'd be waiting there in the windowsill. He actually wore out a little spot in the couch where he'd wait for me. I'd come home real late, and he'd be there sitting in the window, putting in his time." That's really sweet. The other thing he said, that there's a new record, I guess even before Jake passed away, the new record is coming out right now, but he honored him with a song on there, and it's called "Can't Be Replaced." And I know a lot of you people with dogs and really any kind of pet probably really understand this, but here's just a part of the lyrics that he posted. "For 15 years, right by my side, from a single man to 3 kids and a wife. Friends come and go, but when it comes to Jake, there's some things that can't be replaced." I know we all know that feeling. So here's a happier time with Jake and his owner Dierks Bentley performing on stage. and just a big part of his life. And so many people, and he was a rescue dog. He's a mixed breed dog that he was rescued and just was such a big part of all country music. Everybody who knew Dierks Bentley knew he had a dog named Jake. That's really sweet. And let me see who's here. Rebecca Sue. Oh, I know. I was kind of sad to hear it, but I'd have to say, probably one of the biggest loved dogs, spent so much time with his owner, which is hard when you're a star and you're traveling around, but the dog traveled on a tour bus with him and really a big part of his life. Hey there, WooFDriver, how are you doing? All right, here's a sweet story. This is a story about a couple. It's Norma Kent, who's 72, and her husband Derek, who's 82. And they were, in 1980, they were just married, newlyweds basically. They had one child and they had another one on the way. And the wife, Norma, was saying, I want a dog. And the husband was just not feeling like they could commit to, a dog. That's a good thing that people need to know when they're getting a pet. Whatever pet, you have to not just think of the wonderful moment, look at that puppy, but think about, could you be there for, if it was a Chihuahua, you might be making a 20-year commitment. So you could be 20 years old, but you're thinking, what will you be doing at 40? Do you still want a dog? Well, you can't really anticipate, and hopefully you'd always want a dog or a cat that you might get, but it's a big commitment. So at any rate, the husband he just wasn't feeling it. He loved dogs, but he was like, we just, at this point with the 2 kids, we can't really get a dog. We don't know what we're going to be doing. So they're in England. They opted to raise puppies that they would give to, I want to get the name right, but it is Guide Dogs UK, which is very similar to, let's say, the Seeing Eye of America. Those are the guide dogs that you see with people who can't see or are impaired visually. And what happens there and here is the puppies what they do is they get them at about 7 weeks old, and they keep them for just over a year, 12 months to 14 months. And they just socialize them to just be in a family, and basic things like, sit, stay, no, down, all the basic commands, walking on a leash, and just spend all the time with the puppies. And then at that point, they give them over to the trainers who would train them to be help the blind. And of all the dogs that they give out, only about 2/3 actually make it to the next level. The rest find really good homes and everything, but it takes a really specific breed. And I was reading what they do for the next 5-month program. It's pretty intense. They have to train them. One thing I didn't really think about is they have to train them to have a wider area to walk in, because they're not just walking, through a crowd for themselves. The dog has to anticipate that they're walking with their person. And so it's got to be a pretty big space. So just when they're leading them around, they have to know, oh, I have to make it wide. The other thing is they train them not to sniff at things, because, you're walking your dog along a street. You can't have a dog who's guiding a blind person walk into telephone poles and everything was smelling, the lovely smell of every dog that's ever been there. They really have to be doing their work. And I think it usually says on their little jackets, but it's a good thing whenever you see a service dog, ask before you pet, because a lot of times the dogs are really concentrating on what they're doing, and you shouldn't be petting them or, hey, what are you doing? They want to just concentrate. But let me see what else I said. Oh, so far, I got to show a picture. They're so sweet. Oh, look she has a little dog on her sweater. So little couple, and there's their dog that they have now. But they've had 48 dogs, and they're hoping to have 50 that they've raised. And they said that once in a while they've regretted, like, oh, could they have had a dog for longer and everything. But they said they love the puppy stage, and they love that what they're doing is actually helping people, and they know they're all getting good homes. And they said every one of them has been so different in the training and so many different personalities. Some of the breeds are German Shepherds, Labradoodles, Collies, what else? Oh, Labrador Retrievers. All different breeds are great. And I used to live in Morristown, New Jersey, which I think is headquarters of Seeing Eye. And I would see them. Now I know it was probably the next stage, because there's a square in town, and you would see people walking, mostly German Shepherds at that point, and they were just going around, and when they get to the street, they'd sit. You know, it was pretty amazing to just watch them. I always love it when a dog, it really is in sync with their trainer, and they just like almost stare at them. You know, they're really just anticipating the next thing they're gonna say. I have to say I haven't seen that in my dog too much, but I have seen that before. And it's just beautiful to watch. So they said they sound like a really fun couple, because they were saying that they're really chickens, and the idea of a dog getting older and having to say goodbye, they didn't think they could take it. So the idea that they're kind of giving them away before anything happens to them, they thought it kind of helped their personality. They also said if they hadn't had these dogs, because I guess they have a lot of exercise, they said they probably would have spent, you know, the last couple years sitting on the sofa. So I think that's really cool. Grow into lovely, mature dogs. And you know that when they leave you, they will go on and help someone else. That's really sweet. And in the meantime, they raised a whole lot of money for the guide dogs of the UK. So it's really great. They're just so into it. And I think it would be, I don't know, I know a lot of you guys probably do fostering. I've never done that, but I take care of one of my friend's dogs named Mac. She goes to volunteers at, her name's Elaine, if you're watching, and she goes to Zimbabwe to volunteer at a shelter, an orphanage. And so we take care of Mac a couple times a year for sometimes about 6 weeks. I think this last time she went for a couple months, and it was nice just having an extra dog around. And my dog liked Mac. He's a really cute dog. So I could see that fostering would be good, but man, it's got to be tough giving them back sometimes. But I'm sure it's really, it's great knowing that they're getting a good home, especially if you're fostering a dog from a shelter and you're that interim thing where you can give the dog socialization and get them ready to find their forever home. But what do you think? Could you do fostering a pet, or could you even do the seeing eye? I mean, it's kind of an interesting thing to take care of a dog. It sounds like your skill level would just have to be able to train a dog. It's not so much like you have to train them to be a seeing eye dog. It's more just train them to listen and to follow instructions and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know, it sounds really nice. Might be interested in looking into if it was something that you think you'd be good at. Let me look here. Jenny. Hey, Jenny. Hi from Cincinnati, Ohio. Cincinnati, Ohio. You ever hear that song? It's a good song. I think it was written by Whispering Bill Anderson, and I have a version of Connie Smith. They're all country music singers from a long time ago, although still singing, but you might know that song, or maybe your parents know that song. And Rodrigo, hello, how are you doing? He has a nice smiley face. Good to see you. I love hearing from you. Tell me what you're up to today. What's it like over where you are? I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, and it's about, I'd say 90 degrees. Woo! It's pretty hot. It's pretty hot in my house, actually. I have the air conditioning on, but it's hot. But it's been fun. We've been having a lot of fun here in Nashville. A lot of things going on. And I've been seeing, oh man, have you checked out Susie yet? Susie the Doga woman. I think it's Doga, because I'm thinking it's dog and yoga. So Doga, but maybe it's Doga. I'm not sure, but she has a show on. I've seen 2 episodes. They were so great. They were really so great. The first one, the dogs are running all over the place. And it was just so fun to watch because she's just so at peace. Oh, she's so at peace. So it's, even the dog was getting away, she'd bring him back and just, oh, let's do a stretch. She's just excellent. And the second time she had a different dog who was bigger, and she just showed how you could do the Doga with a small dog where you're kind of picking the dog up, or one near you where you're doing sort of massage. I'll have to watch a few more times to figure out how the heck I can do it, but I am going to do it because it looked like a lot of fun. It looked like a stress reliever. Like you could just spend some time with your dog and just take a few minutes to just relax. But she's going to be on, I think, 4 times a week. So it's almost like something we can all do in the morning. It's mostly in the morning. But of course, if you're not around in the morning, these shows play over and over. So you can watch them other times or find them at different places. All Dog Network is a great place to go. AllDogNetwork.com. You can see a lot of these videos, or else just scroll back, you know, on WooFDriver, and you can find a lot of them. But hers are great. I don't know how she does it, but she's doing all these stretches and the dogs. But I'm gonna see. I'm not sure I'll be able to do all that stuff. But the cool thing about it was, I didn't know how she would do it to get beginners involved. But even if you've never done yoga and you're not the most flexible person, I don't think you'd have to be sitting in a lotus position. You could just sit on the floor and do a lot of this stuff with your dog, and you wouldn't really even have to do all the moves exactly like she's doing. I think you would still get a lot out of it, even if you're not the most flexible person. Rodrigo says, my dog is in trouble. Can you tell us what it is? I hope we have so many people on this channel that I mostly do dog news. I know a lot about dogs, but we have 2 trainers that are, actually 3 trainers that are on here. And we have Joseph and Dean Miller and Bill, the WooFDriver. So many people that can help with so many things. And so let us know if you have something on your mind and what your dog's doing. Your dog's in trouble. I'm sorry to hear about that. But if you can tell us, that would be really good. But let's get on to the next story. This is not exactly like turning lemons into lemonade exactly. But here we go. They found a new way to use dog poop, which is good, I guess. It says a new program in Brooklyn, New York New York is finding a new way to use dog poop. Officials are asking pet owners at Williamsburg's East River State Park to fling their doggy poo into 2 new compost bins, so then they can use it like in all the gardens. They're gonna like kind of smear it around on all the gardens in the park. Here we have Leslie Wright says, the dung will be mixed with untreated sawdust and cooked and cured. Somehow cooked and cured and dog poop. I just don't like the sound of that, but it sounds like a very good idea. Before being slathered, even that word is a little upsetting, around the park gardens, according to Leslie Wright, the regional director of state parks in New York City. Let me read this. Oh, okay. The hipster-rich Williamsburg section of Brooklyn was chosen because officials felt they'd be in tune with the whole vibe. But some people think it's a crappy idea. Oh boy. Saying that the beautifully designed cedar compost bins just stink. I mean, they literally stink. So I got to get you some of these quotes. Well, one of the problems is, you know how when you go to a dog park, a lot of them give you almost like a little baggie, and you can kind of do the little grab and then you throw it in. Being it's ecology minded with this poo and the fertilizer and everything, instead of the little plastic baggies, they give you little paper bags. So you can still pick up the dog poo with either the paper that's biodegradable, or they have a whole bunch of scoopers that you can use. So you could just walk over and scoop the poop and then fling it in. So you have a couple options, but because of that, where the plastic bag would have kept some of the scent away, now it's kind of like going, I don't know. Well, this guy, Luis Hernandez, with his Rottweiler Chucho, explains, the entrance is so stinky and nasty, I'd rather not bring my dog over there. Charles Danko, out with his pit bull named Puddin', was trying to stay positive, saying, yeah, it's pretty gross, but maybe it'll be beautiful. So, I don't know, what do you think? Would you use your dog poo to be fertilizer in your garden? Have you ever tried it? If you do, I think it has to be cooked and cured. I wouldn't suggest cooking it in your house, and I don't know what you would cure it with, but I don't know. I know people use chicken poo. We have the 2 chickens. I haven't used it yet. I think all that stuff has to be dried. Like, I've had horses most of my life, and it used to be a big manure pile in the back, and people used to come and pick it up, but kind of have to dry it out. But I'm not sure about a dog thing. I guess it couldn't hurt, but I don't know. Be careful. But they said that this is only the 3rd program with this fertilizer dog thing in dog parks, and there's one, and it's at the in Alaska, Denali National Park, and then another one in Ithaca. So it's a new thing, and maybe they haven't worked out all the bugs, and I have to think it's a great idea. I mean, as they said, at least you're doing something with something that nobody wants. So I'm hoping they'll be able to, like, you know, stick with it and work out the smell issues. Maybe I can't even imagine what they could do, but maybe change it. Oh, look I have penguins. Penguins are nice, but come on. Is it nicer than that? I don't know. The WooFDriver logo. Well, see if this person's holding her nose. Yeah, she doesn't look that happy. Here's one woman from Brooklyn with her dog, and she's flinging the poo into one of the bins. I mean, it would seem with the top on a cedar bin, it would be stinky when you opened it, but I don't know. Maybe they should have tried another part of New York. But I'm hoping it works out. It could work out everywhere. It sounds like a good idea in theory anyway. But we have so many things coming up here on WooFDriver. We have more people coming on and all different types of things that are going to be happening here. So I hope that you will keep on tuning in and keep on sending us email and we're going to find a page that everybody can get involved with, sending in pictures of your dogs, and I'll send in pictures of my pets, and we can all just kind of learn about each other's pets and just reach out to one another, because it's kind of neat. I think WooFDriver page, it's been a really cool place to go because there's so much going on in the world, and it's good to be aware of everything that's going on, but it's nice to actually go somewhere where you know all the programming is going to be positive and fun and helpful and a learning experience and a bonding experience. And really, what could be better than just hanging out with people who love their dogs and want to share experiences about their dogs and what they're doing. It's just a wonderful place to go, and I find that every time I take time to go on, I've been actually exercising and watching Dean Miller. For some reason, I can do exercises when he's doing his dog training. I don't know what it is. It's just, I do like a Pilates thing on this goofy Pilates machine. It's like a stretchy thing, and I just watch it, and it's I don't know, I find it kind of relaxing. I've done the same thing with Paw Prints of Wisdom with Carol Grace Anderson. It's just, some of them are just kind of zen-y, that I like it. Maybe I'll try to do it with some of the yoga stuff or doga stuff with Susie. But I really do find that every time I tune in, it's a very positive thing. And Joseph, I haven't seen his show yet, but he has Unleash the Dog Trainer inside or within, that's it. He's doing a really special show on location. I'm not sure it's on yet, but it's some sort of a famous dog trainer from Las Vegas, and I saw a picture on the WooFDriver site where it's this guy and all these dogs. I saw a really cool dog show in Vegas years ago, and I'm wondering whether I saw him, but the dogs were amazing. So I've got to watch that and see what he's up to in a park. Imagine seeing all these trained dogs in a park doing all this stuff, but it's going to be fun. Thanks, George, for hooking that up. That's really cool. So we got a lot of other stuff and a lot of other cool shows that are going to be on location. So that'll be fun to just see like what they're up to and what people are doing. Hey Cheryl, it's always so great to see you. How are you doing? Was 15 of ration what I? My dog is not with trouble eating, so this week was 15 kilograms of ration. Well, I don't exactly know what that means, but I just want to let you know, just as not a professional, that when there's a change of eating or food habits, that's a good time when your dog, unfortunately, sometimes can't tell you when something's wrong physically, like an illness. So change in eating, change in fur, sometimes the fur can be dehydrated and it can be a symptom of things, but a change of eating is worth a call to a vet. Sometimes it's something so simple, but I think it's always worth finding out, because unlike us, where we might go a couple days, eat more than others, dogs usually have a pretty standard way they're eating and drinking. And when you see too much drinking, not enough drinking, and too much eating, not enough, probably not too much eating, because that'll happen all the time, but a change in eating habits, it's a good time to call a vet. And I wish I could help you more, Rodrigo, but I just don't know enough about your particular dog situation. Oh, WooFDriver's saying that show tonight with that world famous dog trainer is at 9 o'clock Eastern. So that's tonight. I didn't miss it. Well, I've got to see it, because I mean, it's going to be crazy. And being live, you know, anything can happen live. Anything. It's pretty crazy. I was going to have my dog today, and I thought, this is just too crazy. That dog is jumping all over the place, jumping on my lap, leaping around. She's a doll, but I'm going to bring her up maybe next time, or one of my chickens. But we'll have fun. And you? I'm doing great. Well, I'm going to be definitely watching that. So that is that world famous dog trainer from Vegas. That'll be with George tonight, live here on WooFDriver at 9 o'clock Eastern. So do not miss that, because I don't know what's going to go on, but when you say it's going to be in a park live, that could be pretty crazy. But I bet these dogs are really well trained, and I don't know if they're going to be doing tricks or obedience. We'll just have to see what they're up to, but I think it might even be an hour. I'm not sure. I've got to figure it out. But Bill, is it an hour? I think it's a longer show, so it's going to be fun tonight. I mean, how could that not be fun? It's pretty cool. It's like we're going to a Vegas show, but you can just sit in your pajamas. Yes, an hour. That's pretty cool. So with an hour, you can hang out with the dogs, and then it has enough time to chase the dogs when they all run away and you have to get them back. Now, I think it's going to be really fun. I can't wait. So I want to say goodbye to you guys now. I have some really cool things coming up next time. I promise I'm going to bring a pet. That'll be fun. And I hope you have a wonderful couple days. I hope you check out everything that's going on here and let me know what's going on in your life. I always come back and read all the comments. So just tell, if you didn't get me finding what you were saying, just say something else. All right, take care. Bye.